Alright guys, today I'm going to teach you how to make meatballs. Or you can use this recipe for a meatloaf. Okay, so what you want to do is get you a bowl. And depending on how much meat you have, you might need a little bit bigger bowl. But you want to get a pan, a cookie sheet, line it with foil first, and then spray it with a cooking spray. Just so that part's done. And then you preheat the oven to about, if you're doing meatballs, 350. If you're doing a meatloaf, 375. Okay, and so you want, I've got hamburger meat and sausage, like this little piece of sausage here. It's like a fourth of a tube of sausage. You can do any types of sausage. You can do any mixtures of whatever you want. It's just that's up to you, like your taste buds. And then you want, for the foundation of it to keep it together, you want an egg and you want some type of breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs, you can take a piece of bread, like 2 pieces of just white plain sandwich bread, and leave it out overnight. Or even just put it in the oven for a few minutes and get it like toasted, put it in the toaster or whatever. Cut it up, use that. It works just as good, okay? Now you want to combine everything together. You want to put your egg in, and so I got, now this is, what you want to put in here is up to you, because it's up to your taste buds. After the spices and the breadcrumbs and the egg, after that, it's up to you. You can choose to put onions in it. You can choose to put peppers, green peppers, red peppers, any type of peppers that you want. It's just all up to your taste buds. So I got an onion here and some mini sweet peppers. So I am going to cut those up. And you can cut them up, like if you're doing, if you're going to do meatballs, you're probably going to want to do it, you know, you're going to want to cut them pretty small. And then, you know, for about, I've got a quarter, like 3/4 of a pound of meat here. And when with the sausage, it's probably a whole pound. So for the pound, you want 1 egg and about 1/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. I mean, you could just like eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact. Like cooking isn't like baking where things have to be exact. And so that's pretty much the foundation of it, is the breadcrumbs and the egg. Now I'm going to cut these up. See, what the reason why I'm making these is because my boyfriend had bought some, you know, like already pre-made meatballs from the store, and he asked me to make them for him. Well, I put them in the oven and forgot about them, burnt the damn things, and so now I'm just gonna make them from scratch because I feel bad. But I'm gonna actually see if he notices, if he thinks these are store-bought or if he notices that they're homemade. So I got 1 little sweet pepper in there. Now we're gonna get this big ol' sweet yellow pepper in there. I actually enjoy doing these cooking videos because I realize, you know, it's important to know how to cook. And, you know, if you can know the base of a few things, then you can really, like, do a lot of variants of it. And, you know, just really, like, spice up your cooking and spice up your meals and eat things that you normally wouldn't eat. This is a really good knife. This is a Pioneer Woman knife from Walmart. It came in this Christmas set. I got a set of what was it? What did I get? A set of I think it was just like cooking stuff. It was like some wooden spoons and a cutting board and a couple knives and some what was the other thing that was in there? Oh yeah, some like oven mitts. Okay. My next video is what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach y'all how to make a pound cake. Okay, so the spices, you want onion powder, and you want to do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of all of these. Just, you know, you could do more depending on your taste. You want garlic powder, of course. You want rosemary, because rosemary goes really good with meat. And if you have like thyme, that works really good too. And some basil. And some parsley. You can do fresh parsley or dried parsley. Don't matter. You want to do about 1/4 of a teaspoon or 1/2 a teaspoon of the dried parsley. And then just some pepper and salt. Go. Salt and pepper. Now we're going to cut up the onion. And like I said, you can use this as a, you can just make a meatloaf out of this. You can cover it in bacon and cook it. A good thing to use if you don't, like, usually when I make a meatloaf, I'll make like a special sauce on top of it, like my own homemade barbecue sauce. I'll mix like ketchup, about like a cup of ketchup with like a couple tablespoons of soy sauce and dried onions, like dried, like, you know, like they're in a, like this thing, like dried onion flakes, and let's see what, brown sugar, and, you know, just some other spices like garlic and onion powder, and you put that on top, and you mix it all that together, and you put it on top of the meatloaf, and you let it cook. And you don't put all of it on at the same time. You put like probably like 1/4 of it on top of it, and then you cook it. And then as, you know, as it gets like halfway through, you put more on it, and then you glaze it again. And then when it comes out, you know, you do it like in increments until it's all gone. And then you let it cook on top of it, and man, it is delicious. I'm telling you, it is so good. Every time I make that meatloaf, it is gone. Like, people love it. And so now what you want to do, you want to get your hands in here, and you want to start mixing. Don't be afraid to get your freaking hands dirty. You know, of course, wash your hands. I washed my hands before I started doing this. So get it all mixed up. You want to get that sausage and the hamburger mixed up. And I'm telling you, the more spices you put in, the better. Don't be shy on your spices, because that's really what makes a really good meatloaf or meatball. I love cooking. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I know how to make a lot of things. If there's anything y'all want to know how to make, just let me know, and I will teach you how to cook it. I can teach you how to make homemade macaroni and cheese in the oven with like your own sauce, like your own cheese sauce with like a roux. I can teach you how to make bread. I can teach you how to make any type of cake or anything. Just let me know, guys, because I will be more than happy to show you some cooking tips. That would be a very nice thing to do. Okay, so now I'm going to move all this stuff out the way and bring my pan over here. And we're going to start rolling up our meatballs. So for your meatballs, you don't want to make them too big because then they'll take forever to cook. And you don't want that because then they'll burn on the outside. So you want to do, you know, about the size of a golf ball. Last thing you want is like a burnt meatball on the outside with like a raw inside. No, it's the worst. And remember, it's like all in what you like to put in. You don't have to put the onions in. You can replace that with like the chunks of bread, like I told you. You know, you just cut your toasted bread up in cubes, and it is really good in meatloaf. You can put like canned vegetables in your meatloaf, like corn or peas or green beans. You can chop up bacon. You can put cooked rice in it and mix it up. If you do that, you can also stuff the meat mixture with the rice into peppers and cover it in tomato sauce, and you can have stuffed peppers. That's like a German dish that my grandmother always used to make, and it's really good. I'll show you guys how to make stuffed cabbage sometime. If you like like peppers, sweet peppers, and meat and rice and tomato sauce, you are going to love the recipe for the stuffed peppers. Okay, so that is all of our mixture. And we got it all. Now I'm going to wash my hands real quick, guys. And if any of you guys make these, you know, let me know. Like, make a video about it and, like, tag me in it, because I'd really like to see y'all's recreations of, like, meatloaf or, you know, whatever you choose to make. Because it's really fun to cook, and it's fun to express yourself through food. And it's nice when other people, you know, when you feed other people and they really appreciate your food. I think that's the best part for me. So, y'all look out for my pound cake video. It's going to be coming in the next day or so. And I hope you liked, you know, me cooking the meatballs. And here's what they look like before they go in the oven. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.